We reaffirm our unwavering support for the sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity of the Syrian Arab Republic. We urge the interim government of Syria to fully respect the rights of all minorities and to resolve internal differences through inclusive dialogue and peaceful means. The fundamental principles of the international law and the UN Charter, particularly the prohibition of the use of force, respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity, and the principle of non-intervention in the internal affairs of a state must be strictly observed. The Israeli regime has absolutely no legal or moral justification to violate Syrian sovereignty or interfere in its internal affairs under the false pretext of protecting minority rights. Such illegal action constitute blatant violation of international law and the UN Charter and must be unequivocally condemned by this Council.
Over the past 6 months, we have witnessed a return of targeted violence against Syria's most vulnerable communities. Mass killings of Alawites in northwestern Syria, entire villages and neighborhoods wiped out. Then brutal aggression against the Kurds in the north. Just last week, the ancient Mar Mikhael church in the southern city of Sueda was razed, burned to the ground. Just days earlier, armed rebels carried out a deadly assault on another church, continuing their campaign of terror and destruction. And in the past few days, we have seen a new wave of violence being unleashed against the Druze community in southern Syria, a region close to Israel's northern border. The images emerging from that area are horrifying. Civilians murdered and slaughtered in cold blood, communities decimated, elders stripped of their humanity and mocked, cultural heritage erased. This is not incidental. Unfortunately, it is emerging as a pattern. It is a persecution carried out in stages by violent mobs, inflamed and directed by organized jihadist militias who massacre the Druze population and other minorities who simply want to live their lives. This needs to stop now, and those responsible must be held accountable.
وترفض سوريا رفضاً قاطعاً الذرائع التي تسوقها السلطات الإسرائيلية لمحاولة تبرير أفعالها العدوانية، وتؤكد أن هذه الممارسات ليست سوى امتداد لسياسات الاحتلال الممنهجة الرامية إلى تقويض استقرار سوريا وجرها إلى ساحة الصراع. إذ شهدت الأشهر الماضية كما تعلمون جميعاً انتهاكات متكررة من قبل إسرائيل لاتفاق فض الاشتباك لعام 1974. وما يزيد الأمر سوءاً هو أن هذه الاعتداءات الإسرائيلية تهدف بشكل مباشر إلى عرقلة جهود الدولة السورية في بسط الأمن والاستقرار واحتواء التوترات الداخلية عبر النهج الوطني.
To that end, we are calling on the Syrian government to lead on determining the path forward. We have seen deeply troubling reports of atrocities committed against Syrian civilians. The government must investigate all reports of abuse and hold the perpetrators accountable. While the United States did not support recent Israeli strikes, we are engaging diplomatically with Israel and Syria at the highest levels, both to address the present crisis and reach a lasting agreement between two sovereign states.
There were further alarming reports of civilian religious figures and detainees being subjected to extrajudicial executions and humiliating and degrading treatment. Footage of desecration and mutilation of corpses, as well as incidents of sectarian incitement and looting of private property, was widely circulated on social and conventional media, causing further trauma and fueling intercommunal tensions and violence. Civilians caught up in ongoing violence continue to face serious risks, with significant displacement and reports of damage to critical infrastructure, including water, electricity, and telecommunication networks. In addition to violating Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity, Israel's actions undermine efforts to build a new Syria at peace with itself and the region and further destabilize Syria at a sensitive time. It is essential that both Israel and Syria uphold the terms of 1974 Disengagement of Forces Agreement to preserve the ceasefire between both parties and refrain from any action that will further undermine it and the stability on the Golan.